with new suspension, new engine, new trans.
That's huge. I wouldn't doubt if it weighed more than a truck itself right now.
We come a long way on the 49 Ford.
Now the fun part. You're gonna build a whole new bed from scratch.
Yeah, every bit of it.
We like obstacles.
Yeah. What's next after that?
Man, just everything else.
Perfect.
We build custom trucks. We don't do restorations.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
How you doing? I'm pretty good, man. What's up? Alright, I need to get these bent. Got a couple of templates here. We just need these bends here. This one here, if we can get the rolled edge with this length here, 78 inches long.
Okay. You know, a ground up build for us isn't measured in miles. It's measured in inches.
This is going to be the exact dimensions that you need on this, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll get on it right now.
Perfect.
Done for you.
The 49 Ford came to us, a rusted out old truck. We made a ton of progress inch by inch.
Two of each?
Two of each, yeah.
The bed was just beyond saving. So Ryan's out getting the metal bent for the new bedside of what will be a completely handmade bed. Our shop break isn't long enough to bend them, so we'll get these guys to knock it out perfect.
So I know you're going to be happy. All of those parts that we had on back order finally starting to show up.
So you've been doing something.
Believe it or not, yes, we finally are doing stuff up here. We'll be able to start knocking out some of those older projects that we've been working on. Speaking of projects, I know the thing, how's that coming?
Man, huge job. It was in rough shape when it came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've done a lot to it. Getting in the shop, getting it tore apart, body off the blast, new firewall put in. We got the whole frame built, independent rear suspension, never done that before. Building the independent front suspension, millionth time doing that. Engine trans is all mounted. Man, we're in good shape. The next big job is the bed itself. So I got Ryan over ADE, bending the bed panels for it.
You're going to build a whole new bed from scratch.
Yeah, every bit of it. It was just too far gone. So only thing I need from you is two fenders. We're going to build a bed floor that lifts up so you can see all the framework, all the independent suspension.
The cool thing about working here is it's always something different.
Yeah, man. I mean, people have been customizing these trucks for 75 years now. Getting a little more difficult to come up with something people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen, though.
All right, so once the bed's done, what's next after that?
Man, just everything else, right? Blowing it all apart. Powder coat, a lot of body work, a lot of paint. And John Burgess, man, he's got to come with it, make this one stand out on the inside also.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to tie in whatever you're doing to the outside.
Just got back. Where do you want those bedsides at for the floor?
Man, just stick it right behind the truck. I'll be out there in just a second. We'll start making it. Well, man, make sure you get all that stuff, and I'm going to get to bed.
You can't.
Ready?
Oh, yeah. Put that other one on top of it. I don't want to walk twice.
Sounds good.
Old and I'm lazy, Dustin.
All right.
We got our bedsides back from the vendor. We got our 4 pieces that we're gonna mate together like that. And once we get all these put together, we'll have 2 bedsides.
Slide it right here, and then we'll slide it in.
Give this another 1/4 inch. We can get some screws and let us straighten that up a lot.
There you go. You can see there's real wavy on the inside. That's because there's no structure on the inside of this right now. So what we did is made these little channels here We're gonna tack one to the inside of the panel, and we'll put this other panel on and spot weld the other side. That way they sandwich together, and then they have a little bit of structure in here in between the two bed sides. And once it's all welded and cleaned up, bodyworked and painted, it'll look like a brand new bedside like we Go for it. We like obstacles.
Yeah.
All right, right there.
Couple of bays over from the 49, we're working on a 31 for Maxwell House. Will, let's slap that sucker.
Soaked on right there.
I'd say let's start off by going from the bottom of the crossmember to the top of the frame. And let's get that overall look. So we got two classic trucks going on at the same time. And we build custom trucks. We don't do restorations. Having said that, I still want to keep the things that make this a cool old truck.
From this side?
While making custom details that'll make this truck stand out from everyone else. That's pretty dang close. That's those accurate measurements.
I wouldn't bet against your eye. You're really close. A jump shot, I'll take that bet.
I got that. The 1931 Ford Maxwell House truck came to us as a small project and just grew into something that nobody could have planned for. Did you level this?
I haven't leveled anything yet.
Did different. We're just doing engine and transmission and all the suspension. We still want to retain the original look, but just new suspension, new engine, new trans. Now, just the height we need to come up with. We got everything torn down. We got the rear hangers made, and all that coffee equipment came in, and it's way bigger than I was expecting. There's just not enough space in the back of the truck. We're definitely going to have to build a trailer. We got the trailer hitch built on the back of the truck, and the only thing left is all the rest of it.
The importance of having everything leveled, man, that's where it really starts out. You know, this side's nice and tight, and the other side's loose. I've tweaked the frame a little bit, loosened up some pieces, and put a lot of weight on this one corner. You know, when this thing was restored, they just bolted it right back down. They didn't check the square of the frame or anything like that. This right here is the best thing could happen for this truck.
We're going to start with replacing the whole straight axle with independent front suspension. So first things first on that is building the lower part of the frame, which the control arms and everything mount to. And that's the whole cross member. It's going to support the weight of the engine and have attaching points for all right in the right spot, the right level, the right wheelbase. There's a lot of things you got to figure on when putting this cross member in. We're swapping out the existing power plant for a 4BT Cummins on the 31 Ford. This diesel engine's way bigger than what came stock 93 years ago, but it's going to give old Max a lot more power. So I asked Jamie to get it in and let's get it mounted.
I'll let it hit that firewall.
Yeah, right there.
Coming up!
Barely.
How's that? That's pretty workable now. You can see the size of this engine. It's huge. You know, I wouldn't doubt if it weighed more than their truck itself right now. We're going to have to take a few things off of it just to get it shoehorned in here. Once we do that, we can put everything back on, lift the truck up, put the motor on stands, kind of shift around to get it exactly where we want it. So then we start fabbing up some mounts so we can connect it to the frame. Once we do that, this thing ain't gonna move nowhere. This is a lot of motor in this truck. You know, this is a 4BT. These things are known for how much torque they got. It's gonna pull this truck around, no problem. All right, that's 4 anchor points I got now. Everything's tacked up, nice and solid. You know, we got bushings in all 4 of our anchor points. That's our motor mounts right there.
It's wild to look at the original suspension on the 31 Ford. You know, it worked at the time, but compared to the air suspension that we're building now, the ride's just going to be a whole lot smoother. Engineering's come a long way since 1931.
We're gonna go ahead and start building lower control arms and the uppers. So I got my jig all square, so my next step is to go ahead and start putting pipes into my makeshift arm. This is just temporary right here to hold my lower ball joint in. I have my angle set the way it is, so I can actually tack this on there, pull these off, nothing moves. I know everything's still square. Once those are done, everything's stitched on here. That's gonna be our lower control arms. Okay, so I got the lowers on, everything's welded out, both sides done. Next step is go ahead and start doing the upper control bar.
See what's over the bottom of this thing.
And we got a pretty unique situation right here. We're working around a big wheel, a late model spindle. The fender curves not only one way, it curves a lot the other way. So we're really limited on our space and location of all the pivot points. So what we had to do is move the pivot point back way out of the way, out of line with the fender bracket. So we had to make this weird offset control arm. The geometry worked correctly on this car with this big wheel, this big spindle. Yeah! Go ahead and weld this out and then get it mocked up underneath the front end and make sure everything clears. Then we can start playing with our upper control arm mounting point, get that camber right. It's pretty unique to this suspension. It's a little bit backwards from the way we normally work, but you know, that's what we do around here. Roll with the punches. I mean, if there's an obstacle in the way, we work around it, make it work, and that's exactly what we're doing here. You know, the next step on this is building the bag mount itself. So that's basically building a shelf right off of the cross member that holds the airbag and a mount on the bottom of the control arm. So you shoot air into it, it pushes that control arm down, lifts the truck right up.
Okay, so we got our upper bag mount. Everything looks really good on that. The next thing is go ahead and put our shock on. You go mock everything up. Once I mock everything up, I'll make one side, then I'll go ahead and make the other. Weld them out at the same time. That's hot. You know, this is a lot to figure out. Keeping with tradition, old Max right here, we went ahead and kept the stock frame. So it was a little bit of a challenge to go ahead and build the components to this type of frame. But we got everything together and it's looking real good. All right, that's exactly what we wanted. We got our shock extended all the way down, which is gonna be the bottom of our ride height. I'm really happy the way everything turned out. It's gonna ride good. We can turn lock to lock. You know, everything's exactly the way it needs to be.
These old trucks definitely have their own challenges. They're just way different from modern trucks. We're building a new bed for the 49 Ford, but better.
All right, we got our bed sides welded together yesterday. Got them buffed, looking nice. Just had to go ahead and cut some braces, get everything in there so it's roughly set right now. Had to do a little bit of trimming to be able to clear our axles here. Ryan went ahead and rolled a sweet piece of 1x4. That's gonna go ahead and connect the top rails of the bed together. I cut a piece of sheet metal next, and that's gonna go ahead and connect our bed on the inside. Now it's doing something. We went ahead and rolled that as well to match the contour of the cab. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get everything nice and square, true to the truck, and keep on building. So we made this front plate with a brake on the bottom here to keep this rigid. Got our two bed sides tied together, got our sheet metal work done. So next I'm gonna make a piece of tube that's gonna have a roll on it as well. So that's gonna serve as a bed mount for us. And also we'll be able to mount our hinges to there for our bed lip. So I'm gonna trim that down now to fit inside our bed rails. I got our piece of 2x2 in here fitting. That'll make for a really nice stout bed mount and also hinge mount. We're gonna move on to the rear of the bed now. I'm gonna focus on getting our side rail nice and square, just like we did on the front. And then I'm gonna put a piece of tube in here in between the sides of our bed here. And then I'm gonna make some bed mounts that come off the bottom of our frame that go to that tube. So whenever you pick up the top of the bed and look in here, it almost looks like a floating bed. You won't see any mounts. I got it, dude. Pretty heavy. Say that much. Now the fun part. And then it'll weld to here and here.
Sometimes we get salvage a bed on an old truck, but the bed on the 49 would and make it a lot cooler. The custom bed sides are looking good so far. Now we need to make room for them fenders.
We gotta trim these fenders down to fit our bed size. And these are for a factory bed. Obviously ours is not a factory bed. See how it looks? See how it fits?
We're gonna be making a tailgate. We're gonna put a little bit of structure in this. I'm gonna make the sides out of 1.5 inch square tubing. We're gonna cope it, weld it onto the side, do all of our grinding, clean up, and make it look real nice. And then we can figure out some type of sheet metal design for the center. We're gonna start with these sides here first and just move on from there. Yeah, boy. Now that I got my frame built, it's got a few tacks on it, it's not going anywhere. I'm gonna make the inside just a little bit more stronger than the 18 or the 20, you know. I'm gonna make it come down and flatten and come up again, kind of give it a little bit of depth. So once it gets welded and grinded and buffed and looking good, it's gonna have a lot of character to it, even though it's just a couple pieces of pipe. Oh yeah! Alright, so now that I got my frame all welded up, I got the front piece on here. That one is bent and tacked in for right now, but we need to do this backside here first before we start getting into all the really heavy welding. So we're gonna make this back portion right now. We're not just gonna put a flat panel in here. We're gonna, do a little bead rolled square just to kind of resemble the stock tailgate look. We'll add the square in there. It gives a little bit of structure to the panel itself. And then once it's welded in, obviously it'll be a lot stronger. And it looks much better than just having a flat panel with no characters. So.
Ryan got the tailgate built for the 49 Ford. I'm working on making a hinge piece for it. I'm machining down a piece of DOM to slide into the tube he's got the tailgate built out of. And then I'm gonna drill it out with a 13/16 drill bit, which is the size of the hinge that we're gonna use. So it'll make for a really sturdy hinge for the tailgate to be able to swing down on.
The front suspension on the 31 Ford, and now we're moving to the rear. Well, we got all the 4-link done. We have the new hangers done. The rear end is actually mounted to the truck. I love the new dually wheels, but we got a problem. Putting on these nice new dually wheels, we're coming from a wheel that's that wide to a wheel that's that wide. So the issue is here, you see how far it sticks this bed, but it's got to grow about 10 inches on each side. So we got to disassemble this bed and make the bed wider. In the world of custom, this is the type of thing that happens that keeps us on schedule.
You have these issues pop up all the time. You have to find solutions. It's just what we do. Troubleshooting, fix them, find a way to make things work to cover the wheels so we can have a nice arch. Everything ties in together. Once we do that, we'll put our new bedwood in. Let me put our stake sides on. It's gonna look like came-like put D1 so we know driver. And the last one over here, put P, whatever number it is. Let's lift it up so we can get all these rails out. Go grab Bill's impact. We get 2 at once. All right. Wiggle it. Yeah.
Let me get a grinder set up.
Yeah. Thomas and I got all the bedwood off finally. Now these pieces right here are actually what we're going to extend out on each side. So first thing is break out some grinders, start grinding these rivets. Today we would bolt everything together, weld it together, but back then, you know, these rivets, we had to heat these things up, pound them in until they pressed around with a die, and that was a lot of work just to get one of these done. We've come a long way, but it's nice to kind of look back and see how things were done to really appreciate it. Okay, so Thomas and I got all the spines off. You know, you can see where everything's going to go right back. The next step is start putting new spines in this thing.
Bill gave me this cardboard with a little drawing on here. So what I'm going to do now is get all these measurements and just put it all in the computer and cut 13 of these out. Now that we got them all cut out, we're going to bring all the pieces over here and start bending them all. Good? All right, good stuff. All right, got all these bent up, but this is as far as we go. Our brake's not 8 feet long, so we're gonna have to load these up and take them down the street and get them broken. That means my job here is done.
We finished the bed sides and tailgate on the 49 Ford. To get that tailgate open and closed, we're going to add actuators. So get it open by remote control.
Oh yeah. All right, so we got the bed sides completely welded up and grinded smooth. I'm gonna cut these holes out first. This is gonna be our access hole for our actuators. Everything for that assembly will be built on the inside of the bed here. Getting that cut out before we get the tailgate over here is necessary, so we'll get that done right now. You need a hand with that or no? You got it? So I've been playing with our actuator over here, trying to find a mounting location on the inside of the bed here. This pin right here will hold the base, and then this piston here will actually go in and out whenever the motor is running, whenever it goes in and out. So we're going to make a mount that will go on the inside of the... Oh my God.
Did it fit in that way?
No, it went in the other way, through the humongous hole.
I thought so.
Alright, so this side works perfect. We just tested it right now. Works fine. We're good over here. We're going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing. We already got half the parts made. We just need to make the other half now. Alright, so I got my actuator bolted in. I got everything welded up and everything's down where it needs to be. So we're going to make a channel that goes around this, that hides all this. Take a couple of measurements, make it out of some sheet metal, make some breaks, make some bends. Try it out on the truck. Oh yeah! And right here we can make a trim piece, that way when you're looking in here, you don't see this void, and to finish off the access hole. Obviously once it's all bodyworked and painted and it's got everything together, it'll look finished off and it'll look done. So we got our panel made, a little box to cover our actuator body. It's gonna hide all of our wiring, the body itself, keep it out of the element, keep it clean for the most part. It's accessible, you can take it off, that way everything behind there can get painted, the box itself can get painted, and then it can all get installed whenever it's final assemblies. We got our actuator hooked up, we're gonna test the door. Oh, we got power. Perfect.
We come a long way on the 49 Ford. The new bed's looking good, almost factory, but with a lot of updates. Next, we're gonna build the floor, and then we'll have all the pieces for the truck. From there, it's body, paint, interior, putting it all together, then it's done. But still a long list, but compared to where it started, we've come a long, 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 long way. Cross-member pieces for the 31 Ford Maxwell House truck are back in the shop. Now we can get to building on this thing.
Foot longer than our original spine. That's going to cover the dually wheel that we've added. First thing is go ahead and start placing these, get them centered. Once I get the two centered, I'm going to clamp two pieces of bar on the sides to make sure everything's square. Then I'll be able to put all my rungs in the middle of it. Once I get my spines exactly where I want them, I'll go ahead and clamp them. Once they're drilled, that's where they're going to stay forever. Dustin, come on over here real quick. Let's clamp it and release it. Pick it up and clamp it back. That's good enough. So you can see I got all the spines in except this last one. I have an obstruction right here in my air tank. So what I'm going to have to do is cut along right along here on these edges. Once I get that cut, I'll be able to clamp it in, make sure everything's square, then I'll be able to start drilling and bolting. Go ahead and go in. Okay, so I got all the rungs lined up, everything looks pretty, everything's flat, everything's even, square. So next thing is to go ahead and start drilling into our original hardware. Go ahead and start from the back, work my way forward, set it, see what it looks like. Alright, so Dustin and I just got done drilling all these spines right here, everything bolted up just like it came from the factory.
All we're gonna do now is put the outer rails that we took off the original bed back onto the new rails. So everything will look the same. We'll just end up with a wider bed to cover those new wheels and tires. Let's get the other side on real quick. It's probably good.
Hey, Dustin, why don't you just grab that side? Jamie, you weld this side.
Once we have this on, the stakes will fit all back in place, everything retain the original look. The only thing we'll have to do is add new pieces of bedwood. Other than that, it's pretty much a factory style bed.
So what we've done right here is we repurposed our uprights. You know, it actually goes right on the side of the bed like this, and our wood slats go in there. We had to move them since we had it on the bed. So what we did is clean them all up, tack some plates on them. So once we get these back from powder coat, throw some paint on them, bolt them up. All we'll have to do is throw in some lumber wood, we'll be good as gold.
I knew we were gonna have to make some room for the new Cummins diesel on the 31 Ford, but
You know, we had to cut this out for the front runner kit. Jesse cut us a frame. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and take the excess off here so we can weld the frame on. After I get the frame established, then I can go ahead and start filling back in with my sheet metal and get the design that I want. Okay, so we just got our metal frame in, tacked up. We're gonna actually make a vent right there. So we made a quick template of chipboard just to make an outline of what we kind of want to do. It's just a good reference. So I'm going to transfer this to sheet metal. Once I transfer it to sheet metal, bring over bandsaw, cut it out, make some bends, maybe refine it, kind of fit it. Once we get it right how we want it, we'll go ahead and tack that up, start metalworking it. What we're gonna do next is go ahead and start blowing this truck apart. Yep. And I'm gonna take this cowl off, gonna take the fenders off, the cab, everything completely off. Everybody watch everything. Then we'll get the frame down on the ground with the cab up in the air on the lift. Then we go ahead and send everything out for powder coat and paint.
Truck pulled apart. We got the motor out of the chassis. Get this bad boy over to the body shop so they can get it painted. Then we'll get it all back together.
We have the diesel engine from the Maxwell truck. First thing I would need to do is go ahead and base it with the dark gray sealer, which I already did. And then we will go with this color orange, matching some of the orange that's on the truck already. So it'll blend in with everything once this puts back on the frame.
Bedwood for the Maxwell House truck. We're going to get it all prepped. It's really important that you use the same grit. We want everything to be nice and uniform when we apply the stain. So this is really the most important step before applying any type of color to the wood. Maxwell House truck. We use the coffee beans to try to color the stain. So as you can tell, this color is really coming out perfect. And it smells awesome. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Back in the day, teas and coffees were used to naturally color wood, so this will be a really neat experiment. I'm gonna go ahead and add our stain base, and this will just make sure everything gets evened out. Looks like creamer. So I'm gonna add some of our just universal brown colorant to the mixture, so that we have a really nice color. And Bill said he wants this to look really natural, so that's kind of how we're going to keep it. Add a little bit of black just to darken it up some more. All right, this is starting to look really good, so we can go ahead and start putting it on the bedwood. We're going to go in circular motions to make sure it gets into all of the wood grain. It's nice when you try something new
and it ends up working out really well, and you cannot beat the smell. This definitely beats the normal smell that we're used to when we're working with stain. All right, everything looks like it's soaked in really well. So next step in the process to really protect this bed wood, we're going to use an exterior clear coat product. It's going to do a great job at locking in the color and keep it well protected. This is a dead flat finish, so there's really no sheen to it. It's going to keep a really natural appearance. When you're applying the clear coat, it's really important that you keep a really nice, even, consistent spray pattern. Same speed, same distance from the substrate. And as you can tell, this product here, it actually looks kind of white when it goes down. That lets me know that I'm actually getting material on the substrate where I need it, but it dries completely clear. So I'm really happy with the look of it. It's gonna be very period correct for this truck. So now we're gonna do a few more coats on the top and bottom. Once everything dries, it'll be ready to go back on old Max. Hey, I'm Lewis. Everybody refers to me here as the wood guy. When Bill needs something done with the wood around here, he gives me a call.
All right, man, let's do that.
I got into the woodworking business through my family, so I enjoy working on wood because of the family lineage. I really enjoy the restoration and refinish side, seeing things come back to life. I also enjoy being bold and using different techniques that most people don't see, really just making things special and seeing what beauty we can bring out of the natural wood. Probably my favorite project was Rubio's truck when we did the riverbed. That was really cool to be able to utilize epoxies and different techniques to really make that a one-off bed. This is a trade that is constantly evolving, constantly innovating. There's always something to learn. You always want to push yourself to be a better craftsman and show off what you can do, and it's exciting.
Today's one of those really good days at the shop. We're almost done with the truck portion on the 31 Ford. We've color matched that Ford BT to the orange of the Maxwell House look.
Bill, I'll grab that side, I'll grab this side.
The custom bed is back from powder coat and it looks perfect.
All right, now go down. Yeah.
So this Maxwell House build, I thought was just going to be one of our smaller builds. Get it in, get it out, go to the next one. Well, of course, they never, ever work out like this. We've gotten the truck done. It's complete. The next phase of this is building that trailer. So that's why I called in Rex. What's happening, man? Because I got a couple questions. Appreciate you coming in, man. You know, we got all that coffee equipment in. We're about to start building a trailer, and I'd really like your input on placement.
I'm here to help out any way I can.
First-hand knowledge is what we need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Old Max is looking good. Man, if you don't tell anybody back in Florida, I'd like to show you something.
You gonna let me see it? I can keep a secret.
All right. Jamie, come on. You know, I don't normally do this, but I know he's super excited to see the truck, so I'm going to let him check it out.
Oh my God. Bill. Woo! Old Max is now the new Max.
Yeah, man.
Look at this thing. They're going to freak out at Maxwell House, man. Big old wide. Woo! Love it, man. When old Max came out and I saw her again for the first time, unbelievable. Unbelievable. The stance, man, those big 24-inch rims with the coffee cup in the center. They think of everything. They sit down low. Look at me. I love it, man. Killer.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that's the first time I'm seeing it out of the shop, too, and it looks good.
It does.
Man, it is incredible,
I like
man. It looks good.
This was a fun project,
It
for
was.
sure. Always you think, oh, that's a quick, easy, and no. Never works that way. We got it in the shop, just stripped,
old Max down and started working on suspension. You know, built independent front suspension, got rid of that old straight axle in the front, new 4-link in the back, got rid of the old leaf springs, put a 4-link suspension on air.
Man, it's sitting fat. It looks great.
1-ton axle in it, new dual rear wheels. Once we did that, oh man, the bed's too skinny.
Man.
I mean, the wheels stuck out that far past the bed, so we had to make the bed wider.
It looks good. I love the color of the wood, too.
Well, there's a little something to that. We stained it with coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Even with that wider bed, I mean, there's still nowhere near enough room to do what you guys wanted to do in the bed. So the trailer.
So I went ahead and made that hitch recessed into the frame so everything's tied down anchor. I mean, you could haul a coffee roaster if you wanted to, you know?
I love what they did with the truck. It couldn't be any better. It's going to be tough keeping a secret. This thing is very cool. Woohoo! Boy, you got a lot of engine packed in that little thing.
Yes, man. That old 4-cylinder was in there, you know, it even took up a lot of room, but, you know, putting that Cummins with the Allison transmission, we had to make a whole lot of room, man.
It's a big motor.
It took quite a while to come up with that configuration where it all fit right.
Looks tight.
Yeah.
But it looks tight, you know what I mean?
We decided to tie it in with the Maxwell House logo and paint it orange, so you get some color under the hood too.
Dude, it goes perfect. It looks
pops,
good.
right?
It really pops. Yeah, it looks great.
Man, I knew this truck was going to look better from the beginning, but I didn't know it was going to look this good. Everybody that worked on it in the shop, they get back and look at it now it's complete, they're all just blown away also. This truck turned out very, very, very good. I hope all you guys out there are going to be super happy with it, man.
They're going to be blown away, Bill. There's no doubt they're going to freak out.
You know, we're just about to go to the next step on it and go pick you have, man. I'm glad you're here. I need your help with that, so if you don't mind. Cool, man. We're pretty much going to build a rolling coffee shop. It's going to be long. We have a couple builds that are going to be dropped off this week that I'm super excited about.
1953 Chevy ice cream truck.
Definitely not much going on there, for sure.
2012 CTS wagon. So you're saying take the whole front end off and put a new one on.
Yeah.
One on one.
As a business owner, I know I got to keep them bays full. Tack this one real quick.
Oh my God. Man, what a combination, brother.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
You said we were shopping for trailers. Look at a trailer land.
For sure. You know, after a whole lot of work, we got the Maxwell House truck looking really, really good. But the problem is they've sent us a huge grinder, huge roaster. I mean, there's not enough room in the truck to pack all this stuff. So to save a lot of time, I'm out here at Nationwide Trailers.
Bill, how's it going?
Hey, man, Carlos.
Rudy,
Nice to meet you.
Hopefully they have something in their lot that we can use and to build off of.
How can we help you? I see you looking around.
Man, we got a custom build in the shop, a 1931 Ford. It's Ford Maxwell House.
The coffee company?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
We're building a real cool truck. We put a diesel engine in it. Of course, lowered it with new wheels and tires. It's a dually with the stake bed on it. But, you know, the problem is they sent all this equipment to stick in the back of the bed, but it's definitely not going to fit. It's going to be way too cramped.
Okay.
So, solution is finding that right trailer that we can put all that equipment in it, and we need it to match, you know, one uniform, cool, custom truck and trailer when it's going down the road or at different events.
Old Max with the new Max. Make it look like that.
Let me show you a couple trailers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
We have literally thousands of different trailers that we sell. Figure if we look around long enough, we'll find something that works for them. Put to the back, the two 3,500-pound axles and aluminum fenders.
I think we need a higher deck and wider. Basically, we're going to build the trailer out so it matches the truck. So I need the deck height about the same because we're going to build stake pockets around it and no rails on it.
I think we got something over here.
The key to this build is finding the right trailer, the right height, the right length, just to tie everything in together.
We do a TA. That one tilts up and down.
I think they would have too much fun with that one.
This is a great height, man. This is going to match the deck on the truck itself. Of course, this is too long for what we need.
I got a 16-footer on the other side of the yard. You think that'd be better?
Let's check it out.
I think this is what you're looking for. 16-foot, 102 inches wide, 27K axles.
So if we only put 2,000 pounds on it, it's going to be super bouncy.
So that's what's great about these. They're not. I've pulled these before personally, and they ride very, very smooth.
16 foot is absolutely what we need. This is double the length of the truck, so it's not too long. It's going to be totally out of proportion. Already has spots for the stake pockets. We can just build right off of that, make it match the height of the truck. This one will work.
All right. Well, you ready to do some paperwork?
Let's make it happen.
You brought the duffel bag?
Yeah, completely perfect. The length that it has is exactly what we need. 16 feet long, 8 foot wide is exactly what we're looking for. We can build off of this and make it match the truck perfectly. I'm gonna get this back to the shop and get going on it. Some projects are in and out. Some projects, they take some figuring out. Old Max just turned out really, really cool. Now the challenge is making a trailer match the coolness of the truck. Making it one cohesive unit, so it doesn't look mismatched. That's the whole challenge of this project. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of creativity, a lot of talent, but at the end, we can hook this up to Old Max, take it wherever. It's going to draw a crowd, and it's not only going to look good, they're going to have a functioning coffee bar behind Old Max. Uni trailer. It is. Just got finished up with the Maxwell House truck, and I love how it turned out. But the only issue we have, that huge antique roaster that they sent, definitely not fit in the back of that truck. Me and Carlos just got back with this to solve that issue, to put everything that Maxwell House wanted in the back of the truck on this trailer with way more room. We're pretty much going to build a rolling coffee shop on this. So, of course, that big, huge roaster is centerpiece. So around that, we'll configure everything else that's in the coffee shop, right? Seating area all along the back. And of course, you have to wash, prep, so we'll have a countertop here, sink in it, so you can do everything you need to do when it comes to that, right? Potable water tank, gray tank, generator. Everything you need to make, present, and to clean up.
That's kind of cool. So it'd be like all just open, outdoorsy, coffee shop style deal, just kind of sun beating down on you?
Not so much, man. We need to build a canopy over the top, right?
Yeah.
And not just a roof. I want to build it so it closes up. So at night they can lock everything up, and in the daytime they can. Yeah. So when it gets to where you're going, you can open it up, and we'll have more shade all the way around it also.
Good idea.
Yeah,
It'll be real cool.
Yeah, that'll be nice. So we're gonna have the big roaster right in the middle over the axle, I assume. Gonna have some benches, countertop, some sinks, some fresh water, gray water.
The canopy.
Oh yeah. We got it.
You might want to write it down.
Yeah, we should probably write it down.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Of course, the well-built trailer, it's definitely gonna do what we need to do, but first things first, we got to start chopping it up a little bit to whittle down to the part that we actually need. So we're going to get rid of a couple pieces off the back, took the wheels off just to get it lower, easier to work with, so you don't have to step up and down all day long, and then we're going to get going on it.
We're going to cut off this back rail here on the rear of the trailer because it's not going to be needed anymore and it will not be used. Watch your toes.
need to cut it right here. Hitting the lathe. We're gonna have to move the building over a little bit so we can move the lathe over a little bit, and then we'll be able to cut it. So give me a couple days. So I'm cutting here some 1/8 inch 4x4 square tubing. These are going to be our uprights for our trailer. This is what everything is going to be built off of. This is going to be our main structure for our canopy, for our entryway. We're going to build our back wall off of this, our countertops, literally everything. Nice. We'll make 6 of these. 4 of them will be the same, 2 will be slightly different. They're going to be in a different spot. Grab a couple of nasty rags and just start cleaning them.
Oh yeah, these things all hurled up.
All right, these 2 here are for the center. They're 7'2". The 4 are 7 foot.
Because it goes up over the fender so good. Probably end up cutting that rail out, huh?
No, we're gonna French it in around the rail.
Just slide it down right on
Yeah,
there.
we're just gonna cut it. Bill wants to French the corners of these into the trailer instead of torching the side of the trailer or just setting these on top and only getting a weld on the base. We want to get a weld all the way around every corner. So we're gonna go down 6 inches on this, cut 2 inch out, French it to the corner, tack it. I'll let you know when.
Yeah, right there.
Get every post up, make sure everything's square, level, true, and just bam, 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 knock them all out. I think if I put some pressure on it like that, make it touch, then we'll be good.
Just tack this one real quick. And we got a huge start. And we got our 6 posts up. Now we're just going to start connecting all the posts together. So we'll have a perimeter right around the top so we can start building the roof right off of that. Jobs like this are a lot of fun.
You gonna help me?
Not, have that repetitious day, the day in and day out of the same old. I love jobs like this where we can get in and start creating and have that instant gratification where you start putting the pieces together and shoot, a couple hours later you got something to look at, other than...
Man, that's why I quit pipe welding over that repetitious, same exact thing every day. Just get yours kind of close and just hold it there and don't move.
You can do electrical all day long and still not fix the problem and just make you go home angry.
Yeah, this is way cooler.
Yeah. What was this again?
Should be 9 3 1/4.
No, outside.
You want to go outside?
Yeah. 97 1/4. It's a super busy time at Extensive right now. Finishing up some really big builds with a ton of hours in them. Alright, we can go ahead and cut 4 of them. Old Max, the 31 Ford, along with the coffee trader that we have to build for it now. The 49 Ford, the GTO, and something really cool for someone you definitely heard of. As cool as that is, as a business owner, I know I gotta keep them bays full. So what happens is we're done. We have a couple builds that are gonna be dropped off this week that I'm super excited about. That's a cool wagon, man.
Yes, sir. That's my baby.
Those CTS, man, you don't see these on the road anymore.
No, this
Right.
very, very, very seldom.
Right, very few. I've only seen a few on the road ever.
So I came down to Extensive to get my 2012 CTS wagon up to date. Give it a second chance at life. I have owned the car for 12 years, and the condition it's in right now is a little beat up.
I know they ain't made these in quite some time, huh?
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, no wonder I don't see them on the road that much, right?
Exactly.
I know they're still highly sought after because it's unique,
Yeah.
I see you got a couple of little paint issues. Are we just freshening up, or you just want to come with it?
I want to come with it all the way.
I love hearing that.
Okay.
And I got a couple ideas. You know, I seen it rolling in, and man, I definitely see, you know, of course, wheels and tires.
For sure. Yes, sir.
And you already know what we're known for is air suspension. We gotta drop it on the ground.
Got to.
But if we're coming with it, I know they don't make these cars
Yeah.
a new CTS car.
Yeah.
What do you think about taking that whole front end and grafting it to the front of this car? So basically, this will look like a 2024 CTS wagon.
Bill, so you're saying take the whole front end off
Chop it off.
and put a new one on.
Yeah.
We can do that, Bill?
Man, if we're going for it, that'd be the way to do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that way you're rolling around in what looks like a brand new wagon that nobody else has.
No, that'll be a one-on-one for sure. Bill's ideas goes way beyond what I was thinking I was coming here for. So just to think about that new CTS front end on a wagon, it blows my mind.
Yeah, we cut it, you know, right from the fender gap forward.
Okay.
We'll cut it right down there and just grab that brand new front end right to the whole fender. So all the body line, the door gap and everything's 100%. It'll look like it came from the factory like that.
That'll look really cool, Bill.
What is that, the V6?
Yeah, that's a V6, Bill.
What is that, a
3.6 liter.
That's typical for this car, right? Just a CTS, not the CTS V.
Yeah. I wanted the V, but, 10 years ago, I couldn't afford it.
No, I totally get that. But, since we're got the whole front end gone and removed from the lead engine out and replace it, with maybe a supercharged 6.2,
Oh,
the
yeah,
LT4 in this, over 600 horsepower.
Oh, my God.
What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, I'm with it.
I mean, you're talking about a tire shredder.
Yes. Now we're
I mean, that's basically a brand new CTS V wagon
Now we're talking.
that you can't get anywhere.
One-on-one.
That's it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it has to be right at the end of the tubing. So, I actually like that, right? I want a curved roof on the coffee trailer. That way to kind of match the roof of the truck, and then we can put a canvas over it. First up, we're going to have to roll all those square tubes.
All right, we got some 1.5 inches. This is going to be for our top canopy, and this is going to hold whatever we decide to put up there. Rolled a couple of them so far. We're going to keep on rolling.
So we got our 1.5 inch square tubing rolled in a rolled bender, and it looks like we're wasting a lot of material, but it's about 8 inches on each end. So you have 8 inches that is just flat metal. We just transferred the measurements off the trailer onto the table, and we have our exact dimension of how to chop this out.
Just clamp something here, so all you gotta do is butt to it.
So we rolled all this 1.5, got it all cleaned up, trimmed up, everything's looking good. We're ready to go throw it onto the top of the trailer now, get them lined out where they need to go, and then we can really start seeing this trailer come to life. See if I can step on it. So right now, Jamie and I are laying out every one of these ribs that we've rolled, and we're just trying to match them. We want them all to have that same shape. Yeah, no, that's good. At 16 feet, we can start laying out our marks. We're gonna go every 15 inches. We got 16 feet, we got 13 ribs. We're gonna lay them out on center. We'll get them all straight like that.
It looks pretty good like that.
We like the way these, and then we'll have a roof.
Thing about building a coffee shop trailer, there are no limits. We can build pretty much anything. I have it in my head what that's going to be. But as we go, we can make those little changes to make it cooler and cooler. Now that we have the frame up, we're going to make those windows that actuate up. 2x2, 16 gauge square tubing. We're going to build a perimeter frame on the inside of the trailer walls. We're going to line these with canvas, so when you're going down the road, you can have the trailer all closed up. And then when you get to where you're going, we're going to actuate these so it comes up, so you have even more shade all the way around the trailer. So it's going to be pretty cool. Little seat clamp here, little seat clamp up there. We're going to make 6 of these total, so we're going to set up a quick little jig on the table so we can knock them out pretty quick. We'll get these all tacked up, welded up, and off to the trailer.
Cool. We got all our canopy frames finished up, got everything welded, buffed, sanded, looking good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting our hinges on here. We got some really heavy duty hinges. We're gonna go ahead and put these on the top, allow it to open up and close. I'm gonna get these thrown on, get them welded on, and then we're gonna get them all put on the trailer.
Mind giving us a hand real quick, just tacking this up on the very front. So let's go.
I reach that corner over there, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Need to spin it, yep.
I'll set it down right there.
All right.
You got it? Yeah. Raise it. Knock you off. Cool, man.
They're working on the trailer for the Maxwell House coffee truck. They've got the top built, everything's a top for this thing. I mean, it's big. 101 inches in one direction and 192 in the other direction. It's gonna be long. This piece was so large, all I'm doing now is just verifying my ends are square. Once I got it all squared up, I gotta roll out another, get them cut exact the same size, then it'll be time to start sewing them together. Fantastic. Well, managed to drag out enough material, got it all cut up, got it squared up. Doesn't look like much, but it's ready to go. It's gonna be a lot of work, so get it over the trailer and we'll move on to the next step.
For the Maxwell trailer, we're doing the actuators now to lift up all the doors. So we're going to take this DOM, we're going to turn down the end of it to miss the body of the actuator when it goes up and down. So I'm going to turn the end down back so. We'll try it out, make sure it clears. If it clears, we'll cut 6 more. So using a lathe is a little bit better in this because I want to turn down the whole end instead of using a grinder and cutting it. This makes for a nicer piece. It's machine look. It looks like, you know, we put some effort into it. Just like that, we got our piece. Let's go try it out, see if it works. We got our actuator here. This is how it's gonna pivot when it's going up and down. That's exactly what we're looking for there. This bottom bracket here is gonna hold the bottom of our actuator. Very important to get this, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Every single one of them has to be on the same plane because if they're not, the door will open in different ways. It's gonna get stressed out, it'll try to flex, nothing will work properly. I can put this guy here, and now we can build off of this top support that runs the whole back of the trailer. Now that we know our measurement from the bottom to the top of this here, we know exactly how long our piece needs to be. Dustin's cutting that over there, we'll get that tacked in. And now it's just a matter of just making it look cool, man. Giving it a little bit of strength, a little style, something like that. I think that looks pretty dang cool. If it was my trailer, I'd be happy. Like I want it, I can get it tacked in, and we can move on to the middle. It does look pretty cool, actually. Yeah. This back door is super simple because we made this extra little structure here to be able to bolt off of. You got Jesse to burn out 8 of these for us. All we gotta do is put this guy up here and tack it to the top right there. Once it's all bolted in, we'll test these actuators and make sure it works.
Hey, how are you, sir? Eddie James.
Bill, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, Bill.
What you got going on here?
So, got an old 1953 Chevy ice cream truck.
Man, that's definitely unique.
It is. It's not something you see every day.
Definitely not, man.
So I know the project that I have is unique, and I knew the perfect place to bring it would be to Extensive. Bill does some of the most amazing metal work, paint work,
Ice cream truck.
So my daughter and I work with a couple of different charities in our community, and so we're just looking for something that would be unique, that we can take to charity events, can hand out ice cream to the kids. What a great way to give back, right?
Yeah, I love it. You know, people build cars for all sorts of different reasons. You know, most of the time it's for a car show. You know, most of the time to have that trophy in the garage, but in this case, it's really cool, you know, that he wants to build this just to give back to the community, just to go out and meet people, have a good time, and share some ice cream with them.
So this truck in particular does have a little bit of movie history, such as Cheech and Chong, Nice Dreams, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Crystal Skull.
Oh, wow. Hopefully we can add to that history.
Absolutely.
So what do you want to do with it?
So, you know, of course, it's kind of old and tired and bland looking. We want to really kind of make it shiny and really cool. Whenever you pull up, it catches a lot of attention.
You know, the truck's already super cool, but would definitely make it cooler and make it a little lower. You know, definitely new suspension, front and back. I mean, when you pull up somewhere, you dropping it down. It's already going to attract attention, but that would just draw a crowd, and that's even more ice cream you can give back.
That's right.
You know, new wheels, new tires, get that stain. Are you stuck on white?
No, actually, I would love to put some color on it. Even a two-tone, but I'm leaving that totally up to you.
So just come up with the color that fits it and just attracts attention.
Absolutely. Whatever you think looks best.
We definitely got you on that, man. As far as the interior, I mean, you pretty much only have seat covers, but, you know, come up with something fresh and clean. So not only it's what you sit on, it's what you see when you're walking up to the truck itself, right? We need to come up with something that just, you know, not only comfortable for you to ride in and, you know, looks good and fits with the rest of the truck also.
Sure. And the seat's a little high, so the windshield hits me about here. So, you know, getting a cool seat would be really nice.
Definitely. And definitely got to put some stereo in there. You know, that's part of the ice cream truck. You got to hear it before you see it, right?
I agree.
What you got going on under the hood?
So it's got the original 6-cylinder, so not much going on there.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not much going on there, for sure. You know, I think on something like this, just the best way to do this is just rip all this out and just start fresh. Put a, you know, later model LS engine in it. That way you got plenty of power.
Cylinder didn't have a whole lot of power even when it was new, and it's definitely tired. So some horsepower and reliability, definitely what I'm looking for.
Man, that's just all wood in there, huh?
Yeah, I believe that may actually be the original stuff from 1953.
That's crazy. I figured it'd be stainless all in there, right?
Right.
Does it work now?
As far as I know, none of it works.
You know, I'm no refrigerator guy, but we're going to figure out a way to make this happen, make it work for you.
I knew we came to the right place.
Yeah. Builds like this ice cream truck that just pushes us fabricators. And getting them in now, it just gives us more time to figure out that right approach to take them completely over the top.
Me and Bill are going to have a pull-up competition.
But we can't get too distracted. We still have a lot left to do on that coffee trailer for the 31 Ford.
Come on, dude.
We're basically building a rolling coffee shop, so you gotta have a place to sit. So what we're gonna do is build a seating area back here with some storage underneath it. So right now we're gonna lay out how it's gonna look, frame it all out. We'll have some butcher block on top, We're making our framework all out of 1x1 square tubing, so it'd be plenty of support. It's 73 divided by 3. 1.5. Yes, sir. We got our counter space. What we're gonna have is a little L shape here. Have a little bit more prep room. Got some butcher block top. I think it'll all look really, really good with the same stain all throughout. Where I have our cabinets underneath there so to hide all our water tanks and plumbing. You know, they'll have some storage under here too.
Since we've used the butcher block on the countertops, we're going to carry that theme out through the back. We're just going to use these butcher block tops, cut them up, and make the benches out of that.
What are you doing with the board?
That's going to be the guide for the router bit. We're going to put that right on the line and then flush trim to it.
Okay.
Well, that's what this is for. Double-sided stick tape. That'll guarantee that we have a perfect 45-degree miter in the corner. These blocks are so thick, it's hard to get a saw to run through. You try to go through with a jigsaw or something, it'll walk. So we're just going to give it a good clean cut with a router. Perfect.
It's nice.
Miters look good, angles line up.
So you got the good height, huh?
Yeah. That'll work. So what's the size of the table?
32 by 24.
Okay, that'll fit. What if I take the tabletop, I can fit it in my laser, and I can laser the logo, their new logo, into the top of the table. That way, kind of personalize it for the trailer.
That look good.
Cool.
You know, I just can't wait to get done with all this so I can enjoy a cup of coffee right here.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy one with you, so
Right?
let's get it done.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, it's a big moment right now. We got a whole lot accomplished on the trailer for that 31 Ford. But what it's all about is making coffee. So we have this antique roaster to get in place. This old roaster is about 2,000 pounds.
Please keep a hand on it.
So we're gonna have to wrestle it up in the right spot,
We're good.
preferably right over the tires. So the wait to see where we go from there.
That pipe.
Okay, it's on them. What we want is the pipes all the same spot. You know what I mean? You know how you get a big ass heavy safe in your house?
No.
Golf balls. Golf balls. Put them wherever you want. All right, you ready? Just easy. Just go slow.
That's still a little technique from the Egyptians. You know, they roll those big old blocks on timbers. We're going to use pipe here.
Is it gonna miss the wood in the corner over there?
We should. Roll it right into place. That's going to be home.
2, 3. Ish. There you go. Go.
Now working on the tabletop for the Maxwell House trailer. They sent over a file of their logo, so I'm going to take that and get that imported. I got to do a little cleaning up on it. As you can see, there's a lot going on here, mainly in the coffee cup and the drip. I'll get it scaled, sized, get it into the laser, and we'll get it running. This will probably run for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Not anything else I can do with it except for waiting on it to get finished, so. All right, so everything worked out good. Got it centered up, placed perfect. So next step, round over the corners and it's off the stain and this thing's done. It's heavy. It's too heavy to handle over there. So it's a template that I'm gonna route to so I don't have to screw something up over there. job's done. This thing worked out perfect, so we'll send this off, let it get finished, and I'm gonna go find another fire to put out.
Come over here with it. Bill dropped off the countertops. Everything looks really good. John did a really good job lasering the logo. So we're gonna get them prepped out. We're gonna get them finished sanded. Nice on the trailer. So first thing we have to do, we've got to fix all of the imperfections in the substrate. We're using a light to make sure that we can actually see everything. That's going to highlight every imperfection in the actual countertop. So we're actually going to use an iron and a wet rag. The heat is going to swell the wood, bring it to the top. So we can see that now the imperfections are starting to raise up. Oh yeah, those came out real nice. All right, cool. So now that we've got everything dry, this is ready to sand, and that'll be the final step before we go ahead and stain. Whenever we're sanding, we just want to make sure that we go in an even pattern. We don't want to go too fast. If we do, we might end up with sanding swirls that are going to highlight through when we go ahead and stain. We've got our clear coat picked out. We're going to make a stain. It's important that everything is 100% food safe since they're going to be serving off of this, and that's what this product's going to do for us. Since this butcher block has multiple species of wood, it's important that we actually use a spray stain so everything's uniform and looks consistent. Now we've got everything stained. We're ready to put the food safe clear coat on top. These countertops are going to be well protected for years to come.
We've had some great builds together. We've had some fun ones. We had some really challenging, and we've had a lot of overnight teams and but ones too. And that's what's cool about what we do around here. It's a wide range of everything. We'll build a car for Earl Campbell, and then we'll build a motorcycle trailer.
Something totally out of character. You know, it's not really a vehicle. Doesn't have a motor, but come to the guy, we're gonna build it.
The barbecue truck,
Yeah.
the tanker truck, we turned it
I'll strap me inside that thing and then pop the hill.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the favorites was the buggy. You had this idea. We had stuff mocked up with flat bar and chipboard.
Yeah, just building it completely from absolutely nothing.
That's
there.
right. Boom, before you knew it, we had a cage on the table and it just started coming together so fast. One of the great things about working here is seeing what he imagines just start coming to life, and all the hard work, late nights, all that stuff goes right away when it's...
When we first took in the 31 Ford truck, I wasn't even thinking about a coffee shop on wheels. Now that we're almost done, I couldn't imagine this build without it. I'm really excited how this trailer's coming out right here at the end. We're painting the frame, and we're going to add coffee stained floor to match.
We're at that point where we need to put that exterior wood right on this trailer. It's going to kind of simulate what the bed of the truck looks like. Once we get this canvas on it, it's going to tie everything together. We're going to have our roaster in here soon. We're going to have our grinder, countertops on, sink, coffee table. This thing's going to be something.
Finished the Maxwell House truck not too long ago. Now the trailer is done today, which means the whole project's done. So we got Rex coming in.
What's up, Bill?
Feels like I just seen you. Hopefully he kept a secret on the truck.
Ready to see it, bub.
Let's go check it out.
The anticipation of waiting on this thing been crazy. Been wanting to tell everybody, but definitely keeping a secret. More than ready. Oh my God, Bill. Man, what a combination, brother. That trailer's so huge too, man. I had no idea. Love the wood on the side, matches the truck.
It looks good together.
Man, it does. Got some wheels on that thing too. Bill, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. The people in Jacksonville are gonna freak out.
Shoot, anywhere you go with this, people are gonna freak out.
Yeah, matches old Max perfectly. You can tell it was Maxwell House just by looking at it. Man, this thing looks so cool all together.
You never see a 31 Ford 1-ton truck anywhere, much less a custom 31 Ford truck. But then you pull up somewhere and you see the matching trailer for it.
It's amazing.
Everybody's gonna be blown away.
It's amazing.
I know you've seen the truck, man. Let's go check the trailer.
All right. Wow. This thing's awesome, dude.
You had to have a trailer. You had a problem where we didn't have enough room on the truck itself to do what you needed to do. So we couldn't just get an enclosed trailer. It doesn't match. So we started out with just a 16-foot flat deck trailer. It just gave me the perfect platform to build what we needed to build for you. We started out with 6 posts and just went from there. Built a canvas roof and actuated canvas sides. So when you're rolling down the road, everything, when you open it all up, you're in business.
It's awesome. It's so sick, man. Let's see it. Man, I know when we roll up to a car show, start opening this thing, people are going to be wondering what's in there.
Rex, I see a lot of business trips to the car show for you.
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's it.
Seeing that trailer, seeing the doors all opened up, seeing that big coffee roaster, grinder. So it makes you want to go up in it, see what it's all about. Check it out. Maybe even get a cup of coffee.
Man, this thing's awesome, Bill. Love the woodwork. Everything goes together with old Max. Got the roaster, grinder, got some tunes.
Yeah, man.
Everything nice and open up. Man, this is crazy.
We built all this cabinetry up front. You know, it's all that in the kitchen sink, right? You know, you have your potable water, your gray water tanks, hot water heater. Everything is all under here that you need. Generators putting out 225 for that big old grinder. You got your roaster going.
Can't believe you got the big piece of equipment in there.
Right.
I know that's a heavy roaster right there.
Man, it is. It's over 2,000 pounds. It's heavy. Shoot, just the grinder's 350 pounds. That's why we placed them, you know, right over the axe.
Works well too, because I mean we dump beans in here, they roast, and then we put them right in the grinder.
Straight into the...
Yep, got the water to make coffee with. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better. The roaster set up, the path of everything, the way we actually make coffee and work, it's going to be killer. It's set up perfect. I love the idea of seating area. Maxwell House logo on the table. Sit around, drink coffee.
And man, you got some extra storage under there too, so all that flips up so you can keep all your coffee beans back there and keep weight on the back side of the trailer too. Of course, we had to hook the trailer up to match old Max, right? We stained everything with coffee in the stain, so we had to do the same here. So you're staining on coffee.
That's awesome.
Man, you see everything we got going on here. We had 16 foot. And it's still just what you need. There's no way all this was going to fit and work in the back of the truck. So we had to build you a custom trailer on this. Always say, not just me, it's everybody at the shop making projects like this happen. You know, I appreciate each and every one of them. And I appreciate Maxwell House giving us the opportunity to build it for them. Man, I just love how everything turned out. You know, with this, with open air, people are just going to be smelling that coffee. Wherever event you go to, man, we got you hooked up. And I know you're going to make a bunch of coffee and a bunch of people happy.
Thank you, my man.
Glad you like it.
And let's go work out.
Do a special order with the Godzilla motor, so we'll be somewhere in the 7s with this on it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be bagging this truck a little different than we normally do.
We're gonna put electroluminescent paint on his logo and make this hood light up.
That stuff pops.
Now it's time to cut this thing. Those 4 inches we took out will just be our little secret.
We're gonna turn all the chrome that's on the trucks into gold.
I'm going to bring something to Florida that they ain't never seen.
Dude.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
We got shirts coming in. We got our new design coming in also. So,
Hey, what's happening, guys? You must be Bill.
man, I am, man.
How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good.
Good to meet you. What's up? Vanilla Ice? Oh, my cousin. What's up, bro? Good to see you, Bill. How you doing, man? Man, I'm great. Hey, man, I'm a big fan. Yeah, appreciate it. Same to you, man. That's why I came to see you.
You know, we've had a long list of people coming in and out the door, the average Joe to huge celebrities. But today, Vanilla Ice coming to the door is really something special to me. You know, I grew up on this property listening to his music, so it's pretty cool to have him come through the front door today.
Listen, man, I got a problem. Yo, you'll solve it. I know that's right. I got a stock, brand new Ford Dually Platinum, and I need it to go fast. I need it to look badass. I need your touch, man. Your passion. I need this thing to be the street sweeper.
Man, let's see what you got.
All right, let's go. Bill is a freestyler, and I like that about him, because I collect cars. So for me, it's a big thing, you know, to come out here and have my truck custom done. I think I'm in the right place here. Texas Metal, you know. I'm going to bring something to Florida that they ain't never seen. All right, well, there she sits. Not much. I mean, it's a nice truck, you know, for a stock truck, but she needs some work.
What about that? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So what's drawing you to this dually?
I do construction, so I pull excavators and all kinds of equipment, and I might load this up with some drywall, but I want it to be a show truck, nice truck, but something I can also go get, you know, construction.
Still use it for work.
Still use it for work, yep.
You know, I love that idea. I mean, you just don't want something sitting in your driveway just looking good. You still want to be able to use it, and that's it. I love that aspect for sure. I mean, what do you think about seeing it down a little bit?
Oh, 100%. You know, yeah, you got to set that thing right, but will it be able to hold the weight?
Oh, man. You know, we'll get rid of all the leaf springs in the back and build a big, heavy 4-link so you can put all that power to the ground. Man, Rob, on this, we got to do air suspension. You got to have that adjustability. You got to have that ride quality.
Yep.
And you got to have that ability to pull an excavator or cinder blocks, whatever it is.
I do, yep.
Having that adjustability of that air in the back to control where your ride height's going to be is most definitely a must on this.
That's what we need to do, man.
Wheels and tires is most definitely a must.
Oh, yeah.
Some 26s on it.
Yeah, you know, I know you know the wheel setup. That's important because, you know, you can make it or break it with the wheels and all that. So
that's it.
Got to put some showcase wheels and tires on this thing.
Any accent colors you're thinking?
Gold.
Black guy.
You like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
I just want to turn it into some butter, man. You know, make this thing be where, you know, you turn the corner and people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I mean, there's 100 trucks sitting there, and then this one comes walking in, you know? That's the one.
The one thing I really want to see is what's underneath the hood of that thing. Let's see what we're working with.
Let's have a look. They came out with this new motor, the Godzilla, and I know you can put some horsepower on this thing. So this might be a surprise to you. This dually is not a diesel. This gas, a Godzilla motor.
So we got to take this new Godzilla gas motor, and you're wanting to outrun the tuned diesels.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Them diesels go fast.
Yeah, man. Challenge accepted.
Man, I love it. You know, Bill puts his time, his effort into everything. He's letting his passion run loose, and I just love it. I became a fan of his, and can't wait to see this truck, man, when it's finished, and let him do his magic.
Get you hooked up, man.
I appreciate you, Bill.
Yeah. Let's go make it official.
Look out, world. Not all about diesel.
You know, I get really excited when anybody talks about a black dually sitting on the ground. I mean, that's just one of my favorite vehicles. But when Vanilla Ice comes to you and talks to you about putting his, no matter how old you are, you've heard of Vanilla Ice. His music is just iconic. You know, long time ago, building trucks under a carport on the ground on this property, listening to the radio to Vanilla Ice, I never would have thought I'd be actually building him a truck in the future. I mean, that's pretty cool. That definitely tells me we're on the right track and doing something that people love to see. A big dually sitting on the ground, big wheels, that gets me excited. You know, I can't wait to get this in the shop, and I can't wait for Rob to see exactly what we're going to build for him.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah. So you obviously know whose truck it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Isn't that real cool?
Man, awesome. I can't believe it.
A little piece of my childhood come to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, man.
rolling in the 5.0. I mean, jam that till the tape was done.
We can be rolling in his 350.
There you go. Yes. So what we got going on? What we gonna do for him?
You know, first things first, we got to get this truck low to the ground. But it's a four-wheel drive. Limited on how low we can go because the oil pan sits over that, right?
Yeah.
So we'll get as low as we can go. Once that's determined, big 4-link in the back, big bag, so he can haul whatever trailer he wants. This will handle it.
Man, that's great to hear, honestly, because we're not going to take the work truck aspect out of it, but it also looks sick.
Man, for sure, man. Not only we got to make it low, we got to put big wheels and tires on it too, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And another cool accent that he wants to do, he wants everything that's chrome and gray gold.
Wow, that's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, you're working with all kind of different media, plastic, polished aluminum, chromed plastic. That's going to be really, really difficult on something like this. So,
Paint shop's got a
yeah,
lot ahead of them, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Not only that, we're going to paint his logo on the hood, but we're going to have that light up.
Okay, I've seen some of the stuff online, man. That stuff pops. That's real cool. It's like,
Dude, I've never seen that.
So we're going to have the Luminor guy come out, and he's going to perform that process on the hood. Once all the color's done on it, he wants some more power too. We're gonna add supercharger.
man, that's gonna sound good too. A little whine, a little whistle.
For black marks, right?
Yeah.
That's what gets you excited to come to work, right?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's get it.
So we have this F350 here. What we're gonna do now, pretty much we're gonna tear down the whole grill, bumpers, everything, because we're changing the color. All this that you see that's chrome, the hitch, pretty much everything is going to be taken apart.
Grilling and chilling.
Because we're color matching it, black and gold. Let's go. Alright, go down, start going down. Go up. Yep.
Let's pop the springs out right there, he said. We can take a bunch of selfie.
We're gonna be bagging this truck a little different than we normally do. You know, most of the time we're bagging a car with independent front suspension, or we're building an independent front suspension. This has a straight axle. It's a 4x4 truck. So here we can only go so low, and then it touches the oil pan of the engine. Hey, go down with it real quick. Go slow. So we're gonna get low as we can go with the airbags.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's sitting on the cross member now, Bill. Let's go up with this, pull the front wheels off.
And just put some stands under it. And then we'll just let it down and make it easier to eyeball.
So basically all we gotta do here is make upper and lower bag brackets, we'll replace the spring with the bag, and then we'll use this top, put our bag in there.
Build the bag just to base up 3 inches so it goes over this. That length ought to be good too.
Let's make some flat bar. All right, so Bill and I got some measurements, a little quick sketch. I got my angle that I need, really good stuff. So I'm gonna use this 1/4 inch flat bar, and then I got my angle already on this chipboard where I can bend it right here at this point, pop a hole. All right, now that I have the lower bag bracket tacked in place, I can start boxing this thing in, gusseting it up. We want to leave an access hole in the back here to where we can get to our bolt hole, and also to where we can bolt in the bottom of our airbag as well. And now I got 2.5 inch flat, like a cool little gusset for the side. Get some weld on this thing. And that will be our bottom bag. I got 1 of 2 done, and then I can start building my upper bag bracket now.
Nah, there ain't nothing routine around here. We've done 1,000 air suspension suspensions, but everyone's just a little different. To get Rob's 2023 F350 Platinum sitting low, we're going to put our bags where the springs usually sit.
So we got our pipes cut. I got a couple measurements, cut them 6.5. Got a little donut here that Jesse cut out for me. So we'll go something like this here. I think that's gonna work just fine. So we got our upper bag bracket, our pipe, and our little donut that you seen earlier, right? And now I can build off of this. Oh wait, nothing's welded to the truck. Just make one bracket here, bolt it in, this will connect it to the truck. There's no need to weld anything if we can go anywhere. All the force is pushing up and down. So this is gonna be perfect for what we got going on here. Oh yeah! All right, so we got our tab in, bolts in, it's all tapped, everything's good. We'll get this tore apart, get it welded, then we'll send it to powder.
This curve isn't bad. We do want to set that ridge there. We want to build around that so that it's kind of flat, right?
Okay. The guys that work at the shop, myself included, we're always looking at what's coming up next in the custom game. I heard about a company that uses paint that actually lights up, and I thought it'd be real cool to light up Vanilla Ice's logo right on the hood.
They're going to be these little 22 gauge wires. We're going to fan them out. So we're going to put a contact point. We want to build around that so that it's kind of flat.
Put some body filler, make it flat.
Yeah, body filler, make it flat, yep.
Yeah, okay, that'll work.
Cool.
Get some tape or something.
Yeah, and I can help as you need. Bill gave me a call the other day. He wanted to do something really cool for Ice's 350. Basically, Ice wants his logo on the hood. So what we're going to do is we're going to put electroluminescent paint on his logo and make this hood light up. It's a 4-layer paint system that is electrified. That when you put electricity to the top and the bottom layers, it energizes underneath the hood here. And then once we put the wires there and connect it to the battery, it's going to be charged. So it's going to be a really cool effect. And we're pretty excited to deliver this prize. So Juan got the top side of this scuffed up real nice, so it's going to be able to accept the paint now. Now we got to get this thing in the booth, put that conductive paint on, and we'll be ready to go. We're going to need the logos now, the masks, yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is lay down the negative mask. So that has the logo in there, and we're going to spray it so that the logo itself gets the back plane.
Yeah, like right there.
So it's straight, so
Yeah.
where we need it to be.
Yeah,
All right.
it looks straight now.
Let's lock it in. So basically, when we put conductive paint in this area, that's the area that's going to light up. All right, so let's start painting this thing. So basically, we're going to start with our backplane material. Now we're going to mask off on the side of our target zone here. And then we're going to be able to shoot this, and hopefully we're going to have a nice conductive field here.
This is our conductive paint. It's kind of like those stripes you see on your back glass, like you froze your glass. That's kind of what it is. I mean, this is different for me. I've never done this before. I'm really excited about it. I will have to learn something new every day, and I think this is going to be a really good experience learning how to spray this paint.
Juan did a really nice job spraying this conductive layer down, and I just want to check the resistance of it to make sure that we've got it exactly where we want. So I'll hit that, and we're at 6, which is fantastic. Let's go across the angel here, 6.5. That's perfect. So basically what we're looking for in the ohm meter is that there's enough conductivity in the film to allow the current to flood there without resistance. The lower the resistance, the lower the ohms, the less impedance of the current through the film, and that'll produce a nice, even, bright coating, and we'll be able to power that with the electronics that we have. So the ohm meter tested out everything great. Juan did a fantastic job on this. We're ready to go to the next step.
It's a nice fit. It like fills that thing up so perfect.
So let's just make it the same new 26-inch wheels and tires on to give us some measurements where to start with.
once all the inner and the outer new wheels goes on, we have 100 inches from outside to outside. We just measured the bed, and what we need is 95 inches. So we're gonna have to narrow the rear end 2 inches on each side to get those wheels tucked up underneath the bed so it matches the front. Let go. Thank you. You don't have to do that, but the wheels would stick out that far off each side of the bed. It would look funny. So what we're gonna do is pull the rear end out. We're gonna slick it all off, take the factory brackets off of it so it's completely slick, tubes, and then we're gonna cut out 2 inches on each side.
All right, so I got the rear end all slicked up, everything cleaned up off of here, all the brackets cut out. Now it's time to cut this thing. I want to get 2 inches out of each side, so I'm gonna make a whole bunch of marks, scribe some lines. First, I'm gonna pull all this apart though. I wanna pull my axles out, I wanna pull these off the end. It's really important that we pull the axles out before cutting the housing, because if you cut through the housing into your axle, then you're in a bind. So we'll send these off, measurements that we give them. I'm gonna take out this whole center chunk right here, and then we can make our cuts without getting a whole bunch of grinding dust inside these gears. Getting any of that inside these gears will really mess this rear end up and cause a big problem in the future, you know what I mean? So I've had many problems with rear ends. I hate these things. I always take extra precaution now because I've had to pay for them before, and they're not cheap, you know? I learned my lesson. Whenever we put it back together, we want this to be as straight as possible and true, right? So I'll just take this guy here, scribe a line all the way across. You just line those scribe lines back up together. You can't mess that up. Trying to get this right back where it is right now is that's the money maker right there. You want that to be as close to perfect as possible. I need to take 2 inches out, so I got some chipboard, put it in the shear, got me a perfect cut all the way around. That's a perfect straight line on both sides. So now all I gotta do is just take my marker, mark where I want it to go, cut that out, and we're good to go. So we got our 2 inches cut out, both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and bevel this edge now. We'll bevel that edge. It's usually about 30 degrees or so. You know, you want half the thickness of your metal is perfect. You know, getting that root in there and getting all that weld in there and then grinding the top, you have all that weld in there, you have all that integrity. You don't ever wanna just butt that up like that because that's not gonna do anything for you. In a matter of hours, this thing will snap off and you're in a world of trouble. So cool, we got our 2 inches out, everything's beveled. All we gotta do is just get this thing mated and we're good to go.
You know, the most important part about narrowing 2 inches off each side of the rear end is making sure it all goes back together true and straight. If you don't, it's going to create a ton of problems. So we had an alignment tool made to make it 100% true and perfect.
So I got a window here, I can see my scribe line. I can see the scribe line on that one, we can still line it up good. How this works is basically like a little jig, right? And I got these window cutouts where I can get my gun in there and get 4 good tacks on there. Double, triple check my work. Alright, I'm ready to tack. I want to tack on that, oh Phil, we call that a bridge tack. I got a pipe welder background, so I did this for a very long time, so that's the way it's done in the oil field. That's the way we're gonna do it here. I used to be able to do root fill and cap on a 4-inch joint in like 27 minutes. We would do like 11 to 12 joints a day. Anything under that, it'll can your ass. Now, this is a good way to check your work here. You put this guy here, we know that this is straight, right? It's a ruler. You draw all your straight lines off of this. So put it here. If you see no gaps and no inconsistencies, then you know it's true all the way through, right? We're ready to throw a big root in there. So the root is your first initial weld, right? That's going to mate the two together. Once you stop, you grind the end of the root. See that in there? You see how it's blue? It's paper thin, and you want to tie into that root. You overlap it, and you keep it going. You're gonna start up, that heat is established, and then once you get through, it's just gonna fuse through, burn through. You go about a quarter inch past that. That's how you do a tie-in. And now, we crank our machine up, a little bit more wire. Jamie, need your assistance. As I can that way, and then once I hand it off to you, just keep on rolling. I'm not gonna stop. It's just gonna fill this valley up. Well, that's all we're gonna do now. Well, that's just that speed right there. I don't want this to be flush right now, and that way it's less grinding on me afterwards. Not bad. I'm gonna weld this side before I grind. That way I just grind both of them at the same time. So you have to grind that start and stop there, and then we'll come back, we'll start here, and then we'll go over, and then we can stop here, grind our start and stop, and then we'll be ready to do our cap. Alright, you ready? That's it, buddy. Thank you so much. Alright, cool, so that's our cap. We're all done. We'll let it cool down for a little bit. We'll get the grinders out. Slick this thing up, get the belt sander, make sure it's all smooth, looks pretty. Then we can slide it up underneath the truck and start building our 4-link. Those 4 inches we took out will just be our little secret.
Let's take the masking off, and then we'll get to the next step.
There's nothing typical about electroluminescent paint. It's a multi-step process, about as close to a science experiment as you can get.
I'm really happy with the way this came out. So we're going to now put the insulated layer on top of it, this dielectric. And what this is going to do is hold the charge that we now have that's going to flood into this angel area. So we want to make sure we get a good heavy coat over the electrified areas, because that'll prevent burning through. We're creating up a capacitor there with the 2 plates. We want to make sure that they don't touch each other. So this is the thing that protects the paint job. So that will be a nice base for our color layer, which we're putting down right now. So we're going to do this under the black light. And the black light will tell us that we have just enough material down so that we get a smooth and even color. You don't want to be too heavy with this layer, or else it'll block the light. We want to make sure we get it down even and consistent, good coverage all throughout, but as thin as possible. So we're going to be able to know that we get a good consistent coverage, a good even cover when it lights up. That looks fantastic. Good job. So now that that's dry, in order to do that, we actually need to put a bus bar around it first. But what a bus bar is it allows the current to flow evenly around the entire perimeter of the object. So we're going to make sure we're going to put this conductive paint right on the perimeter of this. Spray it out, feather it to the outside. We're going to check our connectivity just like we did for the back plane. Once that's done and dry, then we can light this thing up. I think this looks good. Cool. It's dried for about 3 or 4 hours. Let's take it off. Take the masking off and light this baby up. All right, let's see what we got. Contact points look real nice. So we're going to spray this with our conductive top coat, with our transparent conductor. Nice thin film on it. But before we do that, we have to check continuity. Make sure that there's no continuity between the back plane and the bus bar. If we do, that means we have a short circuit and there's a problem. We have to fix that. 0. We're good. We're good. Second thing we have to do is we have to wire up these connection points, and then we'll be able to then wire this thing under power, spray it, and we hit it with the heat lamp, then it's going to light up. It's going to be spectacular. All right, you want to do edges first, okay? So go center. Okay. Go. I'll go. I'm curing right now. There we go. Now we'll let this sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll clear over it, protect it, and it'll be bulletproof from that point forward.
Ah, cool deal.
All right.
All right.
Good deal.
All right, man. Thanks.
We got the rear end narrowed on the
2023 F350 Platinum and put the axle housing back under the truck. Now we can start building that suspension.
Usually what we'll do is we'll make our hangers and then it'll run to the rear end, right? But since we have all this extra going on and we can utilize this, we're going to use this for our upper and that hanger for our lower. It'll be a little bit different than most cases. It won't be parallel. There will be one in the front and then one in the rear. And then we'll have our airbag in here somewhere. So with that being said, these holes are all metric and it's all oversized. It doesn't fit what we usually use. Our bungs are for 5/8. This is just a hair over 5/8. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill this out big enough to put our DOM in here. The cool thing about DOM is it's super, super strong, right? It starts off as a solid chunk and then it'll send something through it and then it pokes that hole and it pushes it out. It's a heavy wall 5/8 DOM piece right here. Doing this is ideal for everything else that's yet to come. We'll cut this whole bottom side of the pocket out. That way, whenever it articulates and we get that travel down, it's not binding up on this hump right here. This is exactly where it's gonna be. This is where we want it to be right in line with the rear end right here. So I get my welder, put a couple tacks on here. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the front. In order to get it perfectly centered up, I'm gonna take my washer, put it on the back side here, put my misalignment and heims. Now that it's tight, that bolts all the way straight through. There's no way for this to be out of line. And then we'll be ready to start building our link bars. We'll center it over the rear end here. So now, take a quick measurement, go cut some link bars. And slide it over our bung, and I can go in and out as far as I want. The way I like to do this is split the difference in the shank, so you don't ever want it to be spun all the way out, because that's what's holding all the pressure and holding all the weight. Now that we have this tacked in, I'm gonna go ahead and weld this stuff, cap it. Alright, so I got my fillers for my axle brackets. These are going to go on the outside, box them all in, and then we can also build our back brackets off of this. Alright, so we got everything installed. Our 4-link is good. So we're going to cycle the suspension, make sure our pinion doesn't drop or rise too much. Make sure everything's good. If we need to make any adjustments, we can now with everything just tacked into place. But, I mean, we've done this a couple of times, so pretty sure it'll be alright.
We're gonna wake up this truck by de-chroming it. We're going with the black and gold candy paint.
Right now we're gonna start mixing up our gold paint for a vanilla ice truck. Most of the time people want to color match their trim to match the truck with the color of the truck. In this instant, we're gonna turn all the chrome that's on the trucks into gold. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start mixing up our lemonade candy. We're gonna drop in another 8 ounces, which will make 16. And in this case, we're gonna use a 2-hour direct to metal clear, which is gonna be a very important key to this project to make the candy stick to this chrome and aluminum wheels. So Rob wants a twist on this gold. He doesn't actually want a shiny gold, he wants a satin look to it. The satin look's not a real common request for a gold plated effect, but that's what's gonna make this truck look different from any other truck out there. So we got all of this mixed up. We're gonna start loading it up on the gun and start shooting all this chrome and all the wheels and get it done. So we just shot our first tack coat. The reason we shot a light dusted tack coat is to lock in all the materials without overwetting it. We're gonna hit it with 2 more coats of candy, build up until eventually where we want it, just making sure we don't get it too dark. Rob wants a satin finish to this gold. We're gonna hit it with 2 coats of satin clear. It goes on like a shiny clear. As it's drying, it starts dulling out to a satin finish. We're gonna let it cure, and that's it for that.
It's 12.5. So I need 18 inches from a wheel. whenever it's laid out. Yeah, so I just need to come in 3 inches on both sides.
There's always a trickle down on these decisions we make. We finished the rear suspension on the F350 with narrowed axles, 4-link, and bigger wheels. Now we need to widen the fenders to make that bed look like it came from the factory that way.
You can see with all my lines drawn here, we're gonna cut this guy here. Give us that little lip to be able to weld to instead of welding straight to the side of the bed here. And then this is what we're gonna take out. So that'll be gone. This will move over. This line will meet this line here. We can weld that seam, and then we can add our 3-inch strip of aluminum and fill that void. I'm ready to start fitting my inner fender wells back onto the bed. So, put this guy here. You can grab both pieces of the sheet metal, and then you just use this little wing nut to tighten it up. I can throw a tack on there. Do the same to the passenger side over here. And once I get everything tacked and looking good, then I can start making my filter. Wow. Those are like within a 30-second, which is unbelievable. Now I'm ready to go get a piece of aluminum. I'm gonna make it a little big. We'll get that situated each side, and then I can come in and I can tack it. I'll get all that tacked, weld everything out, grind it all, clean it all up, reshoot some bed liner on this thing. It'll look like we've never messed with it.
So we got Vanilla Ice's F350. It was special order with the Godzilla motor. So the engine that's in it now puts down somewhere mid 400 horsepower. We're gonna go ahead and add a supercharger on it, which we're expecting to get 350 horsepower gain. So we'll be somewhere in the 7s with this on it. Definitely gonna be a huge, noticeable upgrade for this Godzilla. We're gonna go ahead and start disassembling everything that's in the way, all the slow parts, so we can make room for all the go fast stuff. So once we get this installed and tuned, this thing will definitely compete with the diesel engine. We'll go ahead and manhandle this thing up to the truck. We're gonna go ahead and get our throttle body. Just holding it up here, I can already see we have no room to run our charge pipe to our air filter because we got the fan shroud and the radiator in the way. And we're gonna have to find a different route to take to get all this to fit in here. And like I said, we can chop fan blade. It'll work once. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna get this pipe mounted to this flange. And as you can see, we definitely have our clearance from our fan shroud and our fan. Now we just need to get our throttle body mounted out here. So we'll go ahead and build a couple flanges for it, get them welded up and mount it on.
So, as you can see, it's all done, welded out. Don't walk over the mat.
Look at that, fits like it was made to. What looks good, it wasn't the original plan, but we got it to work. Our clearance issues are taken care of. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of our inlet pipe with our filter on it. We just got our air cleaner done. So now we're gonna move on to the next step, which will be our heat exchanger. No mounting spots near it, so I'm gonna have to figure out something to get this thing mounted. Now we got everything bolted up, our heat exchanger mounted, got our supercharger on. Gonna go ahead and blow it all apart, get everything painted, be ready for the tune.
One of the things Rob wanted to do is he wanted to incorporate his logo into the inside of the truck. He wanted it embroidered on the back seat on the armrest. Got it all worked out. Everything looks good. So get it on the truck and get it out of here.
We're almost done with Rob's F350 Platinum. Reinstalled all those D-chrome parts, reassembled the suspension, ran the lines, new wheels and tires. You know, I remember back in the early days of Extensive, just jamming Vanilla Ice while building some of my first builds. It's been really cool to build this truck for him.
I've always been a car guy. I've always I've been attracted to what people do to cars, especially paint jobs. I love a good paint job. The cool thing about what we have is anything that you can do with paint, you can do with light now. So we can take all that great style that has been developed over the centuries and make it light up. We want light for the sake of art. That pays homage to all of the predecessors of the automotive customization industry that have done so much work in creating the styles that we're all familiar with in classic vehicle customization. So I have a chemical engineering degree from MIT, and my friend Andy, when he invented this, he called me up and said, "Hey Sean, I got an idea that I can make paint light up." The minute I saw it, the first prototype was the Prism from the Dark Side of the Moon Pink Floyd album. And it was rough, and just a little bit of light came out of it because we still had a long way to go with the technology. But I knew at that moment that we had something special.
You know, one of my favorite trucks is a big black dually on the ground. And today, that truck is finished.
I've been marinating in Florida, just waiting and anticipating, to see my truck. He said it's done, come get it. I booked my flight right away. Can't wait to see it. Hey, what's up, Bill? How you doing, bud?
What's up, Rob?
You good?
Man, I am. It's a good day today.
I'm excited, man. It is a great day.
Man, I'm ready to show it to you, man. I'm excited, too.
Come on, man. I'm a kid in a candy store. Let's see it.
Let's check it out.
Check out some candy. Oh, my God. Dude, look. Yes. I can pull this up for any car show. You can go to a truck show. You can go to a lowrider show. You can go to a 4x4 show. It qualifies for everything. And I can pull my boat down the street. Come on, man.
We do all right?
God, bro, this is amazing. Look at it. Damn.
You wanted something real nice, cool truck that you can still use at the job site, right?
Yeah.
So first thing we did is tore out all the suspension, and we got it down all the way as far as we could. Put some big airbags in it so you can haul whatever you want. Took out the leaf springs and replaced it with a huge 4-link.
That's how you got it to drop like that. Nice.
And my boy Ryan got after it.
We had to take 4 inches out of the rear end because the wheels were so wide they hung out outside of the bed sides.
You had to cut the axle?
Yeah. Took 2 inches out of each side. We even went as far as going into the bed.
Had to.
Bringing in the inner fender wheels on the bed, re-bed lining the whole thing. It looks like we never even touched it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's still 4-wheel drive truck.
I got it all show and it will go. I love it, man. I'm the king of the construction site right here. The factory is so clean. And to do that, it takes a lot of passion to really make it look like that.
One of the biggest statements is getting rid of all that polished aluminum, chrome, and replacing it with that gold.
It looks like it's almost glowing.
That is a satin gold. It's brushed, sprayed the transparent candy gold over it, and then flat clear over that.
And it really sets it off. I mean, this thing looks like Smokey and the Bandit coming down,
And then you see those 26-inch wheels and tires, man.
You see those?
Absolutely. And man, you see we had to top it off with them center caps.
Boy, that's some icing on the cake right there, man. Look at that. That's butter.
Rob, I know you wanted that logo on the inside too, so check this out.
Woo! Even matches the stitching on the seats.
Man, if you like your logo in here, we got something up front for you.
There's more?
Yeah.
Look at that grill.
It's the first thing you see, man. That sets a whole attitude.
Boom.
I mean, the headlights too, man.
So you even painted inside the lights here.
We sent the headlights off to Oracle, and they did a little surprise for you too, man. They etched your logo down into the lens itself.
I like all the little details, like every little thing that just makes you go, wow. That's why I brought my truck here, man. These guys are innovative. They come up with really cool ideas. This is a one-of-a-kind by far.
Man, Rob, you wanted the hood.
Unbelievable.
That is not just paint, Rob. That's a light-up paint.
So it is true.
Yeah.
I saw something on TikTok. I didn't know if I should believe it or not, man. I was like, that ain't real.
Man, a couple of guys from MIT come up with this paint process where you actually electrify it and it lights up.
So it's actually hooked up to the 12-volt.
Yep.
Man, you got some space technology up in there. Come on now, that's crazy. Hey, turn off the lights and it glows. I'm from the 90s, bro. You gotta do that.
We got one more thing for you.
One more. Oh. Woo. Now you're talking my language.
You wanted more power, so we had to throw a supercharger on the top of this thing. I know that Godzilla puts out about 450, something like that, so you should be getting kind of close to 800 now.
I'm gonna clean streets. Look out.
Rob, I can't wait to see and hear about you rolling in your 350 down in Beachfront Avenue. Everybody likes a truck like this. I'd just like to thank all the guys at the shop for once again coming through for me. So Rob, man, you liking it?
I'm loving it, man. Ain't no liking, bro. Come on, you guys are awesome, man. I love what you do. Ryan, thank you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having the trust in it, bringing this all the way to Houston.